What up, Mikey Scrooge? Good friend Michael here. We're in Gladstone, Michigan today for the, what's the name of this race again? No, I'm just kidding. I know it. I'll get the shirt out to show you. After I drop everything else on the ground too. This is the Gladstone Senior Corporation Scenic Shore 5K run and walk. And on the back, you got all your sponsors for the race today. This is the 6th annual run for this race. This is obviously the first time I've ever done this race. So today, right now, we've got temperatures around 65. I think the relative humidity is around 100% from what they were talking about, so that'll be interesting while we're out running. Also, we got partly cloudy skies. There's some dark clouds. Actually, I'm looking at dark clouds over here, so I don't know if it might rain during the run as well, but we've got sun over here. So it's going to be interesting about that to see if it's going to stay sunny, if it's going to rain during the run, because we still got, when we're starting filming here, we still got about an hour to go before the run today. Still wearing the Row the Boat shirt. The only one I didn't wear that was the mud run because I didn't know if the mud would ruin it or not, so that's why I didn't want to wear that. I am number 338 for the race today. Who knows, I may be the one that traveled the farthest to this race too.
Hey, here's a question for you.
What?
Are they gonna do it like they do at the Climax Scots where they
take this off?
Yeah.
I think so, because I don't think there's any chip timing. I don't feel any chip on the bib, so I think they just ripped this off, and it's gonna be like the Run to Climax run, because it was the same thing. It was all paper registration, and there's no chip timing. The course, we got the map for it. Here, I'll show you. This is the one that's highlighted in pink. Start and finish is at the same spot, and it's just going to be a simple out and back course. We're going to run right along Lake Michigan after we get off. Well, it looks, I don't know actually what the name of that street is. It could be just North Lake Shore Drive all the way down that we get on, but it won't be the Lake Shore until we get out to here. Then we'll make a loop down here just past 23.15 Street, and then come back into town just on the other side of the road there, and we'll come back and we'll start and finish at the exact same spot, which is probably like right down just the road here from the senior center, just right outside the senior center as well. Another interesting thing is, before we even participated, everyone gets a little Scenic Shore 5K run, 1 mile walk participant ribbon. And they do have awards for age groups. They have gold, silver, and bronze for first, second, and third place age groups. So, of course, I think is going to be mostly flat. I did not see really any hills in Gladstone, so it should be a pretty fast course. We'll just have to see what it's going to be like as we head out there. So, and we'll tune back a little bit later near the start of the race, and then we'll obviously get the end and the award ceremony as well. So we'll talk to you guys a little bit later.
Go Michael!
Go Michael! Go Michael!
Good luck! Don't go out too fast, dude. Yay! Woo! Run, Michael, run! Good run, Michael! Good run, Michael!
Good job, good job, good job. 2049. Good, I'll take this one.
Well, done with that 5K race. Now that I can definitely say this is the farthest 5K race I've ever, or any race really I've ever traveled for. I think the farthest before was just the Fifth Third Riverbank run up in Grand Rapids, which was just, you know, over an hour away. Trying to think, was there any other? No, I think that's basically it. Besides, in the running series, I know it was Decatur at the Raider Stomp. But anyways, I forgot to mention before the the race started that the proceeds of today's race go toward the Gladstone Senior Center. We're raising money for exercise equipment for the senior center, so that's a really, really good cause. Glad to support that. The race went decently, I would say. I mean, I did take second overall, and I definitely was first in my age group, I'm pretty sure, so that was good. I mean, that was good. Time was pretty good. I was 20:49 overall, so only 7 seconds off my best time of the year. However, though, once again, I started out too fast, and what it seems to be when I start out too fast, I just can't hold that pace right now. I don't know why. I was a 6:17 first mile, and then I quickly dropped off to a 6:56, and then I had a 7:16 last mile before we ended up finishing the race. I felt pretty good the first mile, and then once we got to the 1.5, I could start to really feel tired coming in. It was an out and back course, so you could see all the other runners as you're coming back. I was in probably first place for maybe about a quarter mile. There was a gentleman in the green that passed me, and I thought maybe I could keep up with him, and I tried for a little bit, but his pace was just a little too fast for me. He probably finished around about a little under 20 minutes, or right around 20 minutes, I would say. The course, we started over by the senior center, and then once we headed straight maybe for 150 meters or so and turned right. I think that was onto 8th Street. We followed that all the way down a little hill, turned left, and then immediately, maybe about 150 meters farther down, we turned right onto, I believe it was Lakeshore Drive is what they called it. And that was where the majority of the race was, so you're running right along the shoreline. You get to see that. That was a really beautiful, really nice. Once we got past that, then it was, you got the lodges along the side of the road. The course was flat all the way through, except for just that little hill that we had to come back up. Because once we got to the mile mark, then we hit the water stop, ran a little bit past there, turned around, and then ended up coming back. Right along the same path, you could see all the runners that were still coming out, all the runners and the walkers that were still coming out. So we cheered them on as we were coming back through, and then it just seemed to be that went on forever. The Lakeshore Drive did. Once we got to the road where we turned on though, and then we went up that hill, I knew we were almost done at that point, because it was just a little bit of a trek down 8th Street and then back toward turn right toward the senior center. They finished. They took my they took my information right from the bottom of the bib. So it's just run like the Climax run. They post it up on the board. They figure out age group awards, things like that. So that was cool. The first place runner too, when I crossed, gave me a high five. I gave the runner that came in right behind me a high five as well. So we were all cheering each other on. Turned out to be quite a humid day out, so that's definitely why I think my time suffered. I could definitely tell I was sweating a lot out there. The air was thick, it was heavy. Not going to use that as an excuse for running a slower time. I just need to, I think, slow down just a little bit in that first mile. So, I mean, if I, were to add, maybe 10, 13 seconds to that first mile, maybe my, second mile time, instead of being like 6:56 like what it was today, maybe it'd be around like 6:45. So, I mean, you would be adding 13 seconds, but you'd be taking away, another like 15 seconds. So, would it be, that big of a difference? It could be in the long run. I mean, you never do know, because then you still got that last mile, which would probably be just a little bit faster as well. And I heard some bugs behind me. I thought I heard a bee. I'm sorry. So we're sticking around for the lunch. You'll see the awards as well. I think for lunch you can either get a sloppy Joe or a hot dog. So we'll be doing that. So I had to remember to keep rowing the boat while I was out there too, because I'm just thinking, oh gosh, I'm getting tired. It's humid. But I was like, okay, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. And it was really neat too. I met a runner here that ran in the Run to Climax 7K. Speaking of that race, just a few weeks ago, he came up and he's like, hey, didn't I see you at the Run to Climax run? Because I was wearing the same shirt. And I said, yeah, you saw me there. And he said that he's actually, this runner he's trying to run a race in every single county in the state. And I thought, well, that's really, really cool to do. So he's telling me he did like the Big House 5K, and he's done all these other little like races. He picks out, I think, the more unique races to do. So that's really cool. I don't know how many counties I ran, and I think he's almost done. I think he has maybe, once he completes a few more, I think there's only 2 counties he's really having trouble finding races in. So I think he said he's going to try to be done by December. The only one he said he was having trouble finding a race is Alcona County, and I think that's up here in the UP. So that'll do it. For now, we'll take you in for the award show coming up here in just a couple of seconds for you guys. Great run. Glad to be up here in Gladstone running. Hopefully next year I'll be doing the Pictured Rocks 10K in Munising in Alger County. So that'll be really cool. And I'm standing, actually I was doing this recap in the World War II Memorial. Well, actually it's more than World War II Memorial, it's actually the War Memorial, because they got World War I, World War II, Spanish-American, Korea, Vietnam, and Global War on Terror. So this is a war memorial here. They got benches in here, and they got stones as well that represent everybody that gave their lives to honor our country. So I thought it was fitting to do the recap from here. So we'll see you inside for the award show.
20 to 29. It's Michael Loudon with a time of 20:49. Good job, Michael.
Feels pretty heavy too.
Does it?
Yeah. It's got the Scenic Shore run. One walks, 3 stars on the side. And it's got the ear on the back.
Nice.
So that'll wrap up the video. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing the run up here in Gladstone. Got the first place in my age group award, 2nd place overall. The rain stayed away, which when we got here I saw the clouds, I was like, oh no, it's gonna rain! But it didn't. So drop a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe for more content and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description below. Until next time, this is Michael out and over and out. Mikey's crew, you guys are the best. Take care, and thanks to my mom and Kathleen for coming to the race too. Right? Okay, good. Yeah, we had a nice lunch too. A hot dog lunch with chips, a pickle, banana, and a strawberry. So it was good. And more water. And I finished off the Gatorade I brought with me.